What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy Philan Speaks back, man. For just some quick WNBA news. All right, anyway, so with regards to WNBA news, after the most of the voting is pretty much in. I think maybe all of it is in. So we know what happened with the fan voting, right? Fan voting is really the worst part of the voting. I really wish they got rid of it, or where fan voting, I think fan voting should be the least considered for it. I hate it. And the reason being is I don't respect fans a lot of times. Fans are completely biased when it comes to voting. Um, Fans are, especially casual fans. Honestly, I hate casual fans. Like for any sport, I do. People who don't really bring anything to the table that has anything to do with integrity, who don't take the time to really learn, who don't take the time to learn about other players, but they just dick ride. I'm sorry, excuse me, word. They just they hero worship their favorite players, and then when they come, they vote. And yeah, I hate casual fans. I don't care what the sport is or anything. Like if you're gonna be about something, be about that thing, or just shut up. Don't involve yourself in these types of things. That's just me. Um, I could be wrong about that, but I'm being honest with you. I hate casual fans. Um, but anyway, uh, so the news here in CBS Sports is the 2025 NBA All-Star Game. Caitlyn Clark finishes ninth in player voting after dominating the fan vote. So that's a story that she's ninth in player voting. What they're trying to get at there, I don't know. But looking over it, I found it interesting. Forget Caitlyn Clark. I think there were other players that were even more. It's more alarming. But it shows in the league, who respects who and who likes who. It's very interesting, man. The article says Indiana Fever star Caitlyn Clark is a captain for the 2025 NBA All Star Game, which I think is fucking ridiculous. I think it's an atrocious thing. Now the reason I'll say it doesn't, I think it's atrocious. To make no mistake. But being the event is in Indiana, which is ridiculous by the way, but being that it's in Indiana, I guess it's not the most disgusting thing there is. But her being a captain, I think, is atrocious because you got on one hand you got Nafisa Collier, okay, who's pretty much a player that is there because she is an established player, is one of the best players in the league. I don't know exactly how many years she's been here, but I know it's over 5 years. Established player, respect amongst her peers, has gotten deep in the playoff runs. You know, is probably the leading candidate for MVP this season. Fee, we know about her. Okay, she also has the distinction of helping start her own league. All of the things we can go on and on about Nafisa Collier, Defensive Player of the Year last year. I get it, right? I'm actually pleased that she was able to get enough fan votes, because the nature of the fandom is fucking disgusting to me. But um anyway, they're two captains as if they're equals. Nafisa Collier here and Caitlin Clark here, as if they're like equals, is just atrocious to me. But anyway, so it says that she earned that honor, talking about Caitlin Clark, by receiving a record-setting 1,293,536 fan votes. I mean, like, y'all are just whatever. The most of any player, not just this year, but in any single year in WNBA history. Like, God, that's why I hate. I just hate casuals. I do. I hate them because they fuck sports up. They do by this type of stuff. Clark's outsized popularity with fans is no secret, as is the fact that a segment of her fellow players do not share that enthusiasm. Okay, so I guess this is what they're trying to get at. The latter, talking about the players, was once again confirmed on Monday when the league revealed the voting results for the All-Star starters. Okay, so while Clark finished first in fan voting and third in media voting. Okay, media is almost just as bad as fans, because the media is not like people that typically care about the sport, unless Lobo did it or Chinese Guma K. I don't know if they were actual voters in the situation or not. But a lot of times it's media people. It could be someone like Shady McCoy who doesn't know shit about women's basketball, who just running his mouth, you know. Um, you got others who half-ass pay attention, not really watching games, or if they watching just that one player, not watching other players, so that you're not getting like an educated answer here. Um, so third in media voting, okay, and first in fan voting. It says that she was a stunning ninth in player voting. Why is ninth stunning? Why is it stunning? For Caitlyn Clark, a second year player. You know, Clark wasn't even the highest ranked favorite guard among the player votes. That's interesting. I would have thought maybe she was, but that was Kelsey Mitchell. But at the same time, if you kind of look at this year, Kelsey Mitchell played every game. Caitlyn has missed multiple games. Like, if you're even going to be fair, like, how's that stunning or ridiculous? As a result, Clark did not have the highest weighted score among guards. That honor went to number one overall pick Paige Beckers, which I think is ridiculous as well. And y'all know I love Paige Beckers, but like Paige Beckers being, where she is fucking ridiculous to me. Whose 3.25 edged out Clark's 3.5. Okay. Listen, man, I love Paige Becker's game. I do believe she should be an all-star. I would love to see her out there. Okay. Um. All right. So anyway, let's just look at this here. This crap. All right. So the first one they got listed here is Paige. All right. First, no, I'm gonna do it this way. First, we're gonna go through. These are just the guards here, according to this article. We're gonna go with first the fan voting, just to show how just horrible fans are. Fans are just, All right, so overall it was Caitlin Clark. She got over 1 million votes. The highest ever that ever happened. Because people like to see circus shots. Like, up, she's the Harlem Globetrotters, right? And you know what? My old head kind of told me this a long time ago, and I didn't listen. This is my old head, Sonny Hill. Okay, who like I said, he's over the age of 80. 82, 83. He grew up in Philadelphia. And he played in. He didn't play in the NBA. He played in the league that they had called the Eastern Basketball League. Okay, which was a rival of the NBA back in the 60s and 50s, right? But he himself was an outstanding player. They had NBA players out there. He's also played alongside Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell. He played with Long Hal Greer, Guy Rogers, a number of like great players, Jerry West, all of them. He's played. Those guys know him. He has a show on WIP every Sunday where people call up, and he's had Earl the Pearl on there. He's had Joyce Irvin on there. Matter of fact, when Wilt was alive, Wilt called up the show before. So he what he ran was something called the Sunny Hill Baker League. Okay, in Philly, and every great player that came from Philly went through the Sunny Hill Baker League. Whether it's Rasheed Wallace, Kobe Bryant, freaking Rip Hamilton, who's from Coatesville, not too far out, but he came through there. Aaron McKee, Eddie Jones, you going for Lionel Simmons, Bimbo Coles, all these guys, right? But what he said to me a long time ago, he said, that actually the team, the guys who really saved or made basketball global was not any NBA team. It wasn't the Celtics, wasn't the Lakers, wasn't the Bulls. Right? A lot of people think it was Michael Jordan who made the game global. No, basketball became global as a result of the Harlem Globetrotters. Okay, the Harlem Globetrotters of the 60s and 70s. They basketball became known about because of them. Why? They would travel the world, playing against that team they would beat every time. I think they were called the Generals or something. You know, the team they would beat. But they went around the world. They went to London. They went to Paris. Went to Belgium, cities in Belgium, whatever their city is. All over the world, Africa, everywhere, Russia, everywhere. Right, and this is how people became. This is how basketball became popular. Okay, so when people like a lot of these Clark fans right here who don't really care about real basketball, but they want to talk popularity, they want to talk seats, want to talk sales, and all of this kind of stuff, they bring it up. Really, I shouldn't be surprised. Casuals are here for the entertainment, not for. They're not entertained by, the real nuts and bolts of the game, right? And that's why I don't really like casuals. And I'm sorry, it's the truth. Because to me, sports, though it's just a sport, it's just a pastime, it's serious business to me. These players are really putting themselves on the line, man. They really do get hurt. They really are getting paid. It's real to some of us. You know what I mean? To the casual, it's just they want to see whatever they want to see. But he said, don't be surprised. What leagues will do is they'll take entertainment over the real nuts and bolts of the sport, right? So this is what you see happening right now. But anyway, let's just look at the fan vote. Okay, Caitlyn Clark was one amongst guards, and then Paige Becker's two among guards. Ridiculous, man. You're talking about a first year player and a second year player, and you know how great I think Paige Beckers is. I do believe Paige Beckers is a top 10 guard in the league. But still, number two, I think it's ridiculous, right? Because the Dallas Wings are like not even a competitive team right now, and like let Paige learn, let her grow in the league. Just voting because I just want to see my favorite player. Shit is just come on, man. Like as a starter, what are we doing? All right, Kesley Mitchell three. Okay, I'm actually shocked. Well, I'm not shocked. She's one of the fever, right? So that's kind of like the residue from Caitlin Clark's popularity is that the fever become popular, right? But at the same time, I am happy with Kelsey Mitchell. She's put her time in. She has established herself as a player, and we'll see by the player ranking how she's respected. So I don't have a problem with it. Fourth, we got why don't I see who's fourth here? All right, so fifth, we got Sabrina Ionescu. Okay, six, Kelsey Plum amongst fans. Okay, uh, seven, Alicia Gray amongst fans. Okay, um, eight, I don't see who eight, nine, 10. It's weird the way they got this here, this particular thing. But Skylar Diggins is ninth amongst fans. Jackie Young is 10th. Natasha Cloud 14th. Brittany Sykes 12th. Okay, according to this thing here. Now let's just compare that to media ranks. Now the media though has Paige Beckers at 5, which is interesting. Okay, Caitlin Clark at 3 according to the media. I'm surprised media ain't got her at 1. The media has Alicia Gray at 1. What that's letting you know because the media do most of the MVP voting and stuff like that. I respect that. I do respect that from the media because Alicia Gray of the guards, she is probably playing the best or close to it. You know, um, I don't see who's two amongst. Oh, Sabrina's two. I get it. New York Liberty, Sabrina. That's fine. Three, Caitlin Clark. Okay, which I don't think she should be this year. I think she missed too many games. Um, the Fever are freaking. She had Caitlin Clark really had 1 or 2 games. She had 2 games. I would say that were outstanding games. Other than that, it was like pretty normal. Her numbers are decent, right? Overall numbers, not necessarily her percentages, but her numbers are decent. But she should be 3. I don't think so. Skylar is 4. I think Skylar should be before her. 5 is Paige. Media. I don't know, man. I don't know. She's having a hell of a rookie year. She should be number one in rookies voting. She's definitely leading all the rookies in every category, pretty much every significant category. So I guess the rookie of the year does make noise. And she's popular. All right. So now you got Kelsey Plum at 6, according to the media. Uh, I guess she's a popular player, and they just think she's good. I don't know. I don't really see how. If you look at the Sparks, Kelsey Plum, for the most part, with the Sparks, been a disappointment. But okay. And then also at 6 is Brittany Sykes. Without a doubt, Brittany Sykes should be on the list at 6. I think she should be before Kelsey Plum for real. She should be 5 maybe, and then Plum 6. Or she should be before Paige, Sykes, but whatever. Then 8 is Natasha Cloud. I guess because of New York, what New York is doing. 9 is Jackie Young. Okay. And then they got at 11 Kelsey Mitchell. I guess that's because some of these are repeating. You got Plum and Brittany Sykes at 6. So you got, that sort of thing. Okay. So Kelsey Mitchell amongst the media is 11th. So it's like the media, in their view, just gives her no respect. They feel like the fever is all Caitlyn, right? Because they got Caitlyn at 2, or they got Caitlyn at 5. So maybe they don't think that much of the fever so far. And Kelsey Mitchell at 11. Now let's go to the players. This is the joint, kind of the meat of this particular thing here, because I think what they're trying to establish somehow the players maybe are hating on her. Now there's a couple of things here that it makes me do wonder about. All right, so the players all voted Alicia Clark as the highest ranked guard. Okay, that I don't have a problem with. I get that. Players, they like her, they respect her game, and they respect what Atlanta's doing. Cool. 2, Sabrina. Right. All right, Sabrina. Bam. Right. No surprise there. 3, Skylar. No surprise there. Skylar, well respected. I know she's had almost a decade in the game, right, or maybe over a decade. Seattle's balling. Okay, they're one of the premier teams in the league right now. This after Jewel Lloyd left. Okay, so hey. 4, Natasha Cloud. I guess that's just because of New York, and I guess they respect her game. But that's interesting. This is how the league sees her, whereas the fans had her at 14. You see the contrast there. And then the other 4 is Paige, her and Natasha Cloud on the same thing there. And I find that interesting that the media have Paige there, or the players. The players, I'm sorry, have her ranked 4 amongst guards. The players really they think that highly of Paige Beckers. That's interesting. That's very interesting that the players think that highly of her and her game. So obviously they're not going off of the performance of the wings. They're just really going off of her game. And you don't see Enrique anywhere there. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Okay? Enrique may not, I don't know, is she even going to be an all-star this year? That's crazy. Because in the NBA, typically you'll be there just because you're an established player. That's interesting. So 4 is Paige and Natasha. Wow, they're really pushing Enrique out of there. All right, so 6 is Kelsey Mitchell. That's her respect amongst the players. The media had her at 11. Okay. Brittany Sykes, 7. Okay, Slim at 7 amongst the players. Then we go to 9, Caitlyn Clark. Of course, the Clarkies are upset, most of them. So a couple of them are fair and realizing she's not having the best season. She's missed a lot of time, a ton of time. She's still an all-star, though. Still a freaking starter because of the stupid-ass fans. But she's 9th amongst the players, in the players' opinion. And they probably think, yeah, they're hating on her. But really, like, why would players think she's higher than that, really? Players that are actually playing. I heard an angry fan talking about this lying, talking about she's the only one that's double teamed. I don't get why y'all keep lying about that. Enrique gets double teamed. Paige Beckers definitely gets double teamed. Great. Any player that's hot gets double teamed. Like, it's just, why do y'all lie about that? Or you just not watching other teams. I just don't get it. And then double teaming isn't always because we fear you, right? Double teaming sometimes is because you're a turnover prone player, and we feel like if we pressure you, we can force turnovers. That's also another reason players get double teamed. They just lie, man. All right, so you got Caitlyn Clark ninth. What we got here? Jackie Young is 12th out of these players. That is crazy. That players view Jackie Young. That makes me wonder because you got Kelsey Plum at 16th. Okay, so it's almost like they don't even think she should be an all-star. That's what that's saying, you know. And the same thing with Jackie Young. It's almost like them saying she shouldn't be an all-star. So I don't know. Now the thing that's interesting is both of them were former aces. Okay, that might tell you how the players view aces players. That maybe all is all in their view is all Asia, and y'all just whatever. Because I don't even see Chelsea Gray here. It's interesting, very interesting. Is Asia hated on or overpraised, and the other players that play with her are hated on just as much as people think that happens with Caitlyn Clark, who hasn't earned shit? It's interesting. 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 All right, so reading on this here. This is the article here. It never really mattered where Clark finished in the media and player vote, unfortunately, is what I'm adding. She was always going to receive the fan votes and earn her spot in the All Star game as a captain. Still, the full voting breakdown is always fascinating to see, and how she was regarded by the other players stood out, as did Cloud finishing fourth and Plum finishing 16th. Yeah, the Plum finishing 16th is alarming. To be fair to the players, Clark has not had the best start to the season. What do you mean to be fair to the players? Why do the players have to vote her one? What do you mean to be fair to the players? What the hell do they do wrong? Like, they don't have to think she's all that. Like, it's stupid. But anyway, here they're mentioning things here. First and foremost, she missed 7 of the fever 16 games. How do you have 16 games, you missed almost half of the damn games. Yeah. And while she's averaging 18.2 points, which looks good, 5 rebounds and 8.9 assists, she's also shooting 29.5% from 3-point range and leading the league in turnovers with 5.9. Damn near 6 turnovers a game. Which is, of course, she's going to lead the league in turnovers, is what she does. So right now, she has pretty much a 9-to-6 assist to turnover ratio. Says it's completely reasonable to say that Clark has not earned a starting spot this year. Clark, not even. I'm not gonna say she ain't earned a spot as an all-star, but damn near. 18.2 points is good, but definitely shouldn't be no starter. Damn sure shouldn't be no captain. That's just bullshit. At the same time, Clark finishing 9th in the player voting feels harsh. Why? You got Kelsey Plum, who's done way more than Caitlyn Clark, who's 16th. How does that feel harsh? While she struggled at times, she's also had some of the best individual performances of any player this season, including a triple-double on opening day and a 32.8 rebound, 9 assist effort in her return from her first injury. Okay. Yeah, but you've also had players with Kelsey Plum that scored 36, and you've had a lot of players have had great players days like that. Right? She's talking about 2 damn games. The Fever have also been significantly better when she's on the floor. Are they? Are they? And opposing defenses certainly do not game plan for her like she's the 9th best guard in the league. This is the shit that bothers me. This dumb shit. What are you talking about? What do you know? This game planning like, Jordan and all of that, man. Y'all be lying. So anyway, that's what I got on that, man. Tell me what y'all think. Peace.